So hi guys, welcome to the MMA UK BJJ show. So obviously myself, Sunball, as always. Today I'm joined by what we can only describe the Northern Monkey, as he's more commonly known as, Carl Fisher. So Carl Fisher's an old school jiu-jitsu guy, as he comes from, I think he started around about the 90s. We'll go into obviously a little bit more into it, but yeah, he's been around for a number of years. I think he's got about 30 years of martial arts experience. And Carol, obviously from up north, now living in the big smoke down in London, so obviously plying his trade down there, obviously got his own students and things like that. So again, we'll hear more about that. Just before we go in, obviously anybody that wants to leave any comments can do so. So just post your questions in the comments, and then it'll be shown on the screen. Obviously with the MMA UK BJJ show or MMA UK News, you can follow us on the usual places, so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and obviously YouTube as well. Now, we did get one comment coming in, well, a couple of comments coming in straight away, Carol. So first one, I think it's a friend of yours, Sean Jenkins, saying, Carol, late as usual.
Yes, he's one of my students. His nickname's the Undefeated. You know, right. Everybody has nicknames. So he's undefeated on the mats, on the streets, and in the courts. So, and he's never on fucking time. But I expect. So that's how it's going to start, is it? That's the level.
And then we've got Simon Moss, Us brother.
Simon, that's the Kiwi Bone Crusher, one of my students, one of my white belts.
And then Farhaz Musa, Us as well.
Yeah, that's one of my blue belts, the Mussinator. That's another nickname for him.
And then Scott Ramsey, who we had on
nice one.
So obviously afternoon, gents. I know that Scott messaged me last week, in fact, saying, "Oh, where's the Carol interview?" So I know we had to postpone it last week, but Scott's been looking forward to it. And then precision self-protection. Did you brush your hair, Carol?
Oh, here we go. That's my partner in crime for the self-protection, Gary Hilton.
Yeah.
He's out in the Middle East, keeping people safe.
Nice
for him to like drop in with the time difference and stuff. So
definitely, thanks very much for that. So yeah, just a few comments before we start. We don't normally get comments this early into the live interviews. So obviously people are obviously excited about hearing what you've got to say, Carol. So so as I said, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on. As I said, I know that you previously did the article with Kieran.
That's right.
Anybody
I used to do a lot of journalism, like reporting for BJJ, MMA, and it was me doing the interviews, and suddenly now I've done like four or five, and this now live on YouTube and everything. It's like the tables are turned. But we had a good little chat.
You did. That's it. It was a great article. Anybody that's obviously head to the MMA UK News website, you can actually get the articles on there. Obviously, the article with Carol was an absolute fantastic one. That's why I was reading it and I thought, why have I not had him on? And then obviously I was talking to Scott Ramsey, and I know you were messaging me back and forward as well. And I was like, listen, definitely get Carol on. So
it's a pleasure and an honour. I'm glad.
Listen. Great to have you on. Yeah, great to have you on. So let's kick off then. Obviously, lockdown, biggest topic at the moment. I mean, everybody that I've spoke to, it's affected every single person that I've spoke to, whether it be jiu-jitsu or any other martial arts, any other sport and things like that. So how's that affected you? I mean, how's your lockdown been going?
It's been tough. But it's not my gym. I rent the space. So we had to shut for the first lockdown. It was like, I just built the club up. It was getting very busy. Put the hard work in and then it's like whoosh, bloody rug pulled from my feet again. You know, I'd like lost a gym up in Bolton that burnt to the ground a good few years ago, and then I had to leave Bolton to move down here. And so I thought, right, this is it. You know, I can start building the gym up and stuff, and then boom, it bloody shut. It's like fucking hell, like head in your hands time, and for everybody. You know, the income had gone, but my students, I've got a core that have supported me all through this, so it's down to them. You know, I can't thank them enough. You know, they all know who they are. You know, I doubt I would have survived up north, to be honest. So we just kept morale going. You know, we've got a WhatsApp group. I found out to use Zoom, so we've been doing Zoom sessions. My students know I'm not a very technical guy. So when I had to download this, I'm, oh God, is this going to go wrong? Everything. So once they'd relaxed, you could go out. We'd meet on club nights in Wimbledon Park and just sit and have a beer and just keep their spirits up. You know, like I say, we have the WhatsApp group where we just take the piss out of each other. Then we got back in with the social distancing, so I just thought, right, we'll just do kickboxing, because the guy that runs the gym is a kickboxing background. So we had the punch bags all 2 meters apart inside, and then in the summer there's a little car park next to where the gym is, and they'd done a little agreement with the guy that owned it, and they put scaffold bars up and tarpaulin. It was just like being in a Thai gym in Thailand. You know, just a lot of punch bags, focus mitts and stuff. So we just spent the summer in there. You know, and I said, look, it's not grappling, but you know, I teach jiu-jitsu and self-protection. I said, look, you know, you've done a lot of grappling, so let's look at sharpening up your striking skills. Yeah, you know, because it's martial arts, and I say we do bag work, and then we do some like PSP, like self-protection, like the striking for that kind of thing as well. So they enjoyed it, you know. It was better. It's either that or sit in the house festering away, you know. Yeah,
definitely.
So then we got shut down again, didn't we? The second one, oh fucking hell! And then it opened up again, and then it was this December thing, and you know, somehow it's like March tomorrow. I'm just like, God, I just thought it's just never ending, is it? You know, for everybody. You know, I've read a few unfortunate jiu-jitsu colleagues have had to shut the gyms up and stuff. You know, it's terrible, absolutely terrible. Yeah. So we're just hunkering down for this last bit. Hopefully, you know, I had my jab on Wednesday. You know, doing it. I don't believe there's any nanobites running through me or in mind control or whatever. All these bloody theories and what have you. You know. Yeah. I'll take my chances with the medical people. So yeah. So I feeling a bit snotty this morning, but it's just got to be done, isn't it? You know, got to do your bit, and hopefully we'll come back. I've got quite a few people on the waiting list that have emailed and messaged me and stuff, so that gives me confidence, you know. Yeah. So yeah, I think we're just at the last bit now. So
definitely. And it's funny you said that about the obviously students helping out and stuff like that. I mean, that's anybody I've spoke to throughout the UK, gym owners and things like that's been the kind of the main thing that I've noticed is when they've been speaking about gyms, saying, well, students, I've kind of stood up to the plate and said, well, look, we'll continue. Because at the end of the day, and it was same with my coach's gym. So I train under Marcus Nardini. And we did was we've got the membership. So we kept the memberships going. There was some drop off, but there's a whole load of students. We just kept paying our membership and making sure that, because at the end of the day, even though it's his name on the door, it's our gym as well, right? So
of course it is, yeah. We're just the teachers, you know. You know, you could have 15 stripes on your black belt, and if nobody's coming through the doors, you can't pass your knowledge on. You know, so that my students know without their help, you know, the gym won't be there, and they've realised. I think a lot of people realise the benefits that they have. They've got a gym and what it does, and all the social stuff, and you know, you go to competitions, and you know the crack and all the piss taking and all that type of stuff. You know, when when you get it taken away from you, most people like realise, oh my God, this is what we've got. I've lost a lot of students, but some of them paid for so much, and they just said, look, you know, I want to pay, but I can't. So I thought, well, I'm not going to fall out with you. I said, look, you've paid, you've out for a good few months. I said, when everything's ready, come back. So we'll see. I think most of them will. You know, they've just got families to feed as well. You know, it's you know, I can't fall out with anybody.
Yeah.
You know, anybody that's helped, you know, they got my unwavering thanks and stuff, and they'll get treated when they come back.
Yeah,
you know, some nice submissions for them.
Definitely. So that's one thing. Obviously, students throughout the country, throughout the whole of the UK, obviously a big thank you, because obviously without these students, without these core of students, then I'd say we wouldn't have jiu-jitsu at all.
Oh
when
no,
we come out of this.
There'll be a lot more people. A lot more people out of work, and you know, all the mental health tragedies and stuff like that. You know, it's you know, everybody that supported any club up and down the country. You know, respect to everybody. You know, just hang in there, and you know, we'll come through the other side, and there'll be big open mats and seminars, I'm sure. You know, so I'll be having them at mine. You know, to thank everybody. So something to look forward to, isn't it?
Definitely. And then obviously we're talking about coming out of it. So obviously you've had your jab. I know I got mine on Monday as well. I mean, I'm fine. I don't have, there's no side effects that I've noticed. I don't have, as you say, there's no mind altering stuff going on.
No, I was a bit rough this morning, just a bit of a blocked nose, but nothing.
Yeah.
Fine.
And then I'm the same. I'm going to get my second jab. I think they said up to 12 weeks, depending on, because obviously they're trying in Scotland. They're probably the same down south, but in Scotland they're trying to get as many people vaccinated as possible for the first jab, and then once the first jab's done, then they'll move on to the second jab. So
they've pulled the finger out in London. I'll say that, and in the whole country, because I've got older brothers and sisters, and their health authority said, look, we've got all the 70-plus-year-old. Why don't you come in and get it done? So they got theirs done a few weeks ago. And then I got a text message out of the blue from our hub of GPs. So I thought, right, well, just get it done, you know?
Yeah. But as I mean, it's I think for me anyway, personally, obviously I remember when the jab first came out, when they announced it at very first, and I thought, it's a bit early because they've not done much testing and stuff like that. But then as times went on, because obviously they've been giving people jabs for, what, I don't know, a couple of months now or whatever, a month or so, whatever long it's been, and there hasn't been any issues. Cases look like they're coming down. People are still obviously having to follow guidance, follow the rules, masks, wash your hands and stuff like that. But it's a necessity now. I mean, the world we live in. I mean, that who'd have thought something like this would have took over the whole world? Because not just the UK. I mean, this is a worldwide thing. I mean, you can't go anywhere at all. So, but it does. It seems like we're coming to the end of it. And I mean, you were talking about the 12th of April that you guys down south are going to open. We're going to open 26th April. So,
that's what was on the news. I've not really been looking. I didn't have the telly on at all in January. I just said to my students, I said, there's nothing we can do till like March, isn't it? That's like when the lockdown is like legally ends, when they put the thing in. So I thought, well, there's nothing going to happen in January, February. You know, so obviously I've caught bits and pieces in the paper and stuff, but there's just so much nonsense out there on Facebook and Instagram. I came off it for a while. I just thought, I've got to deal with this. The fact I'm fit as a fiddle and I can't go out and stuck indoors. Like the frustration and stuff. I don't need it to be amplified by some clown who's heard this from his mate down the pub or somebody else. So, but yes, I've seen that on Facebook and Instagram, like BJJ club saying, we'll be reopening on the 12th and everything. So I'll just see what happens on the Gov website, because the experience is down here. The stuff you read in the news wasn't the same that Boris Johnson said, and it wasn't the same that was on the Gov site that was in the same as our local Wimbledon's in Merton. It's a Merton Council. So Merton and the Gov website information was different. So we're like, what do we do? You know, so we're not going to rush into anything. Like the guy that owns the building and stuff. So we're just going to wait and see, give it a few days to settle down and see what the Gov website says against the Merton site, and we can open up. We'll just have to do kickboxing again, then so be it. You know, we can do the PSP stuff and do the striking and things like that. So it's better than nothing. Really.
Definitely.
You know, just get people back out, blood flowing through them, feeling good and everything, and hopefully, you know, in June he can ease everything up, and then hopefully that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting times. I mean, as I said, it's very, very exciting. I mean, as I said, it was the same when they opened everything up last August. It was exciting because we hadn't had jiu-jitsu for a few months, and then they opened it in August, then they shut it down in October again, and then they were going to relax it, and then obviously December came and they completely shut it down. And so obviously now, again, this is an exciting thing. It's going to open again, and it's getting people. Obviously, we've seen the Facebook where the Jiu-Jitsu UK Underground people are buzzing. They're talking about getting back and arranging competitions, and so it's exciting. It's got that buzz again about Jiu-Jitsu, which happened previously, and so on and so on. So fingers crossed that this is it. We get back to normal, because we need Jiu-Jitsu for our sanity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
of course. Yeah.
Anybody that does jiu-jitsu, I mean, do you know what I mean? People come from different backgrounds, different kind of ways of life and stuff like that. But the main thing is, when we all get on the mat, we're free. We enjoy the time on the mat. So for me especially, I mean, I need it for my sanity.
Well, me too. I've never had this much time off. Even when I've had bad injuries, I've dragged myself and maybe sat down or something like this, but this is it's just unheard of, you know. You know, I have not gone insane. You know, because you just want to get out there. I think, well, I'm not ill, and everybody I know hasn't been ill and stuff like that, and you know, but you know, you just got to do what they say. There's nothing you can do, and I think people will realise, you know, just how important a jiu-jitsu gym is, or a gym, or anything, whatever, swimming, if it's passions, football or tennis, and you know, you get it taken away from you. You know, you're not getting these like 18 months back, you know. So no, definitely. So fingers crossed. As I say, we'll get back. That'll be us. I'm sure we will.
So we're all looking forward to getting back and choking each other and stuff like that. So
twisting up fools.
Now for you, Carol, I mean, as I say, we spoke 30 years, around about 30 years doing martial arts.
So I was looking in my old karate license, and that was licensed 89, January 89. So that's 32 years.
32 years. So, so how did it all begin for you then? So where would you say martial arts kind of took you?
Well, it all started. I got beaten up in Bolton, Bolton Town Centre, the famous or infamous taxi rank on Moor Lane, not Moor Lane, Bank Street, sorry. Bank Street taxis, all my doormen friends and all my Bolton friends, they all know that place. People have been killed there over taxis. It's a fucking awful place. And just wrong place, wrong time. Two guys pinned me up, and another guy went top to toe, and then was about to be 18. So back then in the 80s, you used to have these big sovereign rings. In the half-price jewellers. They were like that. It was like a bit of a knuckle duster, and he beat the fuck out of me. Ended up fighting with him, but nothing major. My shirt was come off, my nose broken, black and blue sovereign mark rings, everything. And I had about 2 weeks off work. And it was a friend of mine, Jason Fenimore. He did karate. So it was 88, so I'm not heard of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or anything. So it was straight to the karate club. You know, he came to my house. I said, look, you've got to start looking after yourself. And it threw in. That's where it started. The karate club at the top of the street, Steve Costello, and I started there in the karate. And then I used to get Fighting Arts International magazine. That was Terry O'Neill was behind that, and that was one of the first times I saw the UFC, because of Tony Blower. He did an article about the UFC, and then obviously the VHS started doing the rounds. And I thought, oh, this looks a bit different, So I was exposed to that there, and then I met Trev Roberts. He's a legend in the traditional jiu-jitsu, self-protection scene, and so I did the karate, and Trevor was the grappling side. So I got introduced to the other side of the coin. So I'd got my striking up okay. And then through Trevor, he'd done a lot of catch wrestling, and so we did a lot of ground. Although it was traditional jiu-jitsu, there was a lot of emphasis on the ground. So we did what you would call rolling. You just spar and just fight and stuff. And from there, met Matt Klempner. He ended up being my judo coach. He did the Sunball competitions in the early 90s. And I think my first competition was one of them was with Martin Clark. He does the Sunball, which is the same. It's just the acronyms are different, that's all. So we did the British Sunball Championships in Herne Bay, 1994. Yeah. And I think I got a bronze medal in that. And then carried on training with Trevor, got my black belt, got up to second dan, did a lot of competitions, and pretty much there wasn't many BJJ comps around at that time. I remember doing, I think one in 2000 down in London at the Latchmere Leisure Centre. That's near me. It's in, I think it's down Battersea Way, that area. Yeah. That was back in the early days. And then there was a lot of sambo competitions up in Manchester. And then you'd gradually see the jiu-jitsu guys coming, the Barry Birmingham boys. I remember them being at the competitions. And like I say, competitions were very thin on the ground. Like now, they're out every week, aren't they? The people, competitions are clashing and stuff like that. And, everybody spoke for choice now. But back then, it was like, oh, it's London. You had to go to London. You wanted to train. It was either in Birmingham. There'd be a collection of people in Manchester. You'd just go to a leisure centre. It wasn't very structured at the beginning. It was like, they call it the underground. It was like, oh, you're in on this big secret kind of thing. It wasn't very well known. And now, you've black belts everywhere. It's like really become very popular. But back then, it was VHS videos, sat in your mate's front room or in a garage or whatever, magazine in your hand. Back then, I used to do a lot of writing and ended up getting a job with Grappling magazine from America. And that was the magazine to get. Yeah. And from that, I ended up going to Los Angeles in '99. For my students, it's not something I mention that I've been to Los Angeles. I thought I was going to get one of those questions yet, but maybe this time. So in LA, I trained at the Machado Academy, John and Hegan's, and that just blew my mind. Danny Inosanto was training there. He was a brown belt, and you'd sit waiting for them to open because they're Brazilian. They never opened early or on time. And you'd sit outside the academy, and Dan would turn up and just sit down there. Hey, Carl, do you want a Gatorade? And I'm like, fucking hell, I'm only 28. I'm from Bolton. I'm like, what am I doing in Los Angeles? Sitting with Dan Inosanto, it's like, mind blowing, mind blowing. And they'd just done the Abu Dhabi competition, '99. So there was Jean-Jacques there, Rico Rodriguez, John Will, he was there. Cindy Amatsu, she was a purple belt. I think she was the first US black belt female. and she beat the shit out of me. I was purple belt, unbelievable. And I've said this story before, but all my students love it. The week before I went to America, I'd done my second dan grading with traditional jiu-jitsu. So I didn't have a BJJ gear or anything like that. No idea what blue belts were about and all that. So I went over there. It was Labour Day weekend, so it was a bank holiday. So I had a couple of days to myself. And then I turned up because John and Hegan had done a seminar in the beginning of '99 in the UK. And they said, hey, come over, do some training. So I thought, right, yeah, fuck it. I worked all through the summer, did the doors, saved up my money, sold my car, all that, and went over there and trained. But walked out on the mats, first class, fucking hell. Wrestling boots, shorts. I only had a Sunball gi at the time, a Sunball jacket, and my black belt with 2 stripes on it. In front of all these Brazilian purple belts and brown belts. And hey, I'm Carl, I'm from England. Hi, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. And they're all talking in Brazilian. And it wasn't for 2 days later that Egan and John said they were going to fucking kill me. You know, because they thought it was like I'd come to challenge them.
Yeah.
You know, didn't know what a second strike BJJ black belt was. Fucking hell. Totally oblivious. So we did the first class, and it's a long, thin room. There's about 30 in the class. And I got this blue belt who was staying at the hostel with big ears like that.
Yeah.
10 seconds, clock short, out cold. I look up with John Hegan and John Jack, and I went, welcome to LA, man. And then they put me in with all the purples and browns, and I got annihilated. Yeah. Went to the academy the next day. Little bad boy gi, thank you. White belt, and then away we go. And so that was like a sharp introduction, really. And John and Egan pulled me out in front of the class with all these. Like I thought, why are they all looking so mean? And I thought, went on, I'm being friendly. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm trying to be friendly. And then they explained in front of the class, and all the Americans were laughing, and I was that crazy English guy. And then all the Brazilians, they were best friends. They're like, man, we thought you wanted to fight us. And I'm like, oh, no. That was it. Sunball jacket, black belt, back in the suitcase, bad boy gi, white belt. And, that was it. So that was a quite a steep learning curve. But it was all great fun. It was great fun. I did my first BJJ competition over there. I've only been training about 6 weeks, and Egan said, oh, yeah, are you training? What's your weight? I said, oh, I'm about 80 kilos. Right, you're fighting Saturday. I'm like, what? No. What's this? But they did, it was a Machado Association tournament. So just Machado gyms. Yeah. And it was at Mirror Est High School, massive school. And it was like 10 mats. You know, this was in 1999. There was like either 8 or 10 mats. And it was just the Machado group. And there were hundreds of people there. And I had John Jack, Egan and John in my corner. So that wasn't too bad. So I lost my first match, a bit of nerves. And then I won my second fight. There's a guy from the Las Vegas Machado Academy. Yeah. Well, yeah, so I've not been training long, but I'd done some training with Trevor. It was I won via Americana, but in the traditional, I think it's Udigarami. So I thought, oh, I've done this before, and I was pretty okay with a scissor sweep for my traditional. I caught quite a few blue and purple belts with that. Just with that, I was lucky because I've been training it. But then, you know, they fucking annihilated me after that. But yeah, it was a great, like, to win, like, compete internationally then. That 30, whatever, 22 years ago. Yeah, it was a real eye opener into competing. You know, I've done stuff in the UK like the Sunball matches. You've got two mats, but this is like 10. Yeah, eight or 10, and like the noise, because it was in a big high school gym, like dealing with all that and everything. It was a good, fantastic, good experience.
Definitely. So that was 23 years ago, roughly 22 years ago. So obviously for you, I mean, going over there, I mean, especially coming from a UK where there was almost nothing, right? As you said, there was an underground, so you were only able to go and train in certain places and stuff like that. And then suddenly being exposed to jiu-jitsu, I mean, all these Brazilians and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
all the blue, purple, brown belts, 2 stripes. They'd come in at the weekend flying from Vegas. You had Burton Richardson across the hostel where I lived in. Eric Paulson was teaching there, so you'd go and train there in the week, and he'd just sit. You'd train in the class with him, and he'd roll with everybody. And there'd be, say, 20, 30 people, and he'd just take the piss out of you. You know, but I've seen him. He'd done quite a lot of stuff in the UK, and so you've got that, and you just go down the road to Hegan's, and you'd say, oh yeah, there's a Brazilian flag and BJJ this and this, that, and all these. I'm like, God, it just flooded. You know, like you say, you had to travel in the UK. It's very few and far between. You know, you have to get in your car and drive. You know.
Yeah. And then obviously, like now, we know now. I mean, there's jiu-jitsu schools everywhere, and you're able to go and train. There's a black belt and all. But I think almost every city in the UK, or probably every city in the UK plus. I mean, there's a number of places you can go. I mean, as they were spoilt for choice nowadays.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I sound like a scratch record to my students. Oh, when I was a white belt and everything, but. You know, that's what it was. A lot of it was self-taught. Unless you lived in Birmingham, you could train. You could get access to Mauricio at the custard factory. Yeah. But then you'd have Roger in London. I used to go to the third space. I think Roger was a blue belt when he came over, and I was working the doors as well. You know, so I'd work Friday night till all. I was a couple of hours sleep. Get the lads in the car, drive down to London, park up, go and train. Have a bite to eat with the lads, get back up north, have a quick shower, and then boom, another all-nighter. And that's what you had to do, you know. But it was a day out, you know. It's not a chore like, oh God, we've got to go to London. Like, wow, yeah, come on, you know. So that's why a lot of the old school, like with no time for people. No, don't think I can go training today. You know, we had to fucking drive miles, just for like 90 minutes, you know. And you've got me or another fella black belt on your doorstep, and weather's a bit bad. I think I'll miss training. You know, there's not people don't have time for that because we had to go through a lot. In the beginning to get the knowledge. You know, now, like you say, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Let me ask you, Carol, if you had to go back, right, and have the way it was for you coming up through, obviously having to travel all these different places, or have what everybody's got now, what would you?
Oh, God, it's a difficult one. Yeah, I would love to have had regular training. Like when I moved down to London, that's what I managed to get because I pretty much was teaching and learning as I went. I had seminars and things, but I didn't really have a teacher myself like my students. I would like that, but I'm glad I did what I did. I think it's like not to be part of something. No, it was like an underground, you know, doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like, what's that? You know.
Yeah.
And now people, even my family members and stuff, they'll say, "Oh yeah, the UFC's on and this, that, and the other." You know, before it was like a secret.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was just good to be a part of it. I still see people now. When I went down to London, you know, I still see people at competitions that are stuck with it. You know, I've seen a lot of people, talented people, get into it and then go. You know, you get a lot of people come and go like everything. You know, I've just been fortunate and stuck it through the thick and thin.
Yeah. I suppose it's part of your journey as well. I mean, everybody talks about the journey. Everybody's got their own unique journey, and some of the stories as well that you hear throughout jiu-jitsu, some of the stories are legendary. I mean, some of the things that people have done in their journey to get to where they are. So I suppose, obviously, for you, I mean, obviously doing what you've done, coming from where you started from to where you are now, if you were to do it in a different way, your journey would be completely different. Your stories would be completely different as well. So yeah, as I say, we definitely, our journeys are important. from where we came from to where we are. So.
Yeah, I've got a lot of experience. I've travelled, I've reported, I've competed all around the world. Not been the best competitor. I'm not like a multiple champion, but I've competed. I've won. I've competed at every belt level.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it's like. So I can teach with experience, and I get my students, try and get them fired up about competing. And it's not so much the match itself; it's getting the training in, dealing with the pre-competition nerves, which everybody gets. The sleepless nights and the worries and doubts, and then boom, you shake hands, you have a scrap, and then you face boot the guy, and you're mates with him, and then you'll see him at another comp, or you'll be a rival with him for that belt, and then you kind of share a journey with those guys. I've got a few of my guys that compete. They've got the same guys in the weight groups. They're lightweights. Gorgeous George, give him a shout. He's got a guy, and they pretty much end up fighting because they pretty much fight in every competition, and they've got a nice rivalry going, and they're friends. They come and train with us, we go train with them. So I just want to put that or give my students the access to what I got, to where I've been, and I say go abroad, travel, go and stay at a gym. You'll see the world, and you'll not get ripped off like a tourist, because you've got the people, the local people. When I was to America, hey, come out with us, we'll take you out, and they'll get you in a bar, and you'll get some nice food. So we know this place, you don't have to go where the tourists get ripped off. I found that everywhere I've travelled. So I just want to give that passion to my students and let them enjoy it as well for their journey.
Definitely. And yeah, right. I mean, as I said, I know that when I was out competing, I always had similar people. You would always see them in the division. You would be like, I fought him before, and it was always a great rivalry. As I say, you would see them. You would have the back and forward on Facebook, where you would, like, if you knew the competition was coming up and you knew you were in each other's division, you would go back and forward, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And so it was always great fun, And as I said, I'm fortunate. I mean, I've met some of the best guys I've ever met in my life. I've met through jiu-jitsu.
I've still got guys I've met years ago, competitions from like 2000 and stuff, and still stay in touch. And they'll come and I do open mats down here. They'll come down and jump on and everything. So you make a lot of really good friends.
Yeah. And then one of the things, again, I think this someone Craig Lawson. So just saying,
Craig, yes, hello, Craig.
So obviously you, again, over the years, you'll have had the chance to roll with it. Obviously, you mentioned the Mikados and things like that. So, but if you could roll with one person, past or present, who would you pick and why?
Oh God, good question. I've been fortunate. I have rolled with a lot of top black belts. I've been to seminars, I've done interviews, and I've trained, and I've rolled with people. Very, very fortunate. I suppose that it would be Hickson, and see what it's all about. I've missed the seminars. I've through other work commitments, or I work as a doorman, so I'm so self-employed. It's difficult to get time off. I'm usually like the head doorman at the club, so we're going away and stuff. And I think Hickson was in Europe a couple of years ago, and I missed that. I just want to see if I could scissor sweep. That's my favourite technique. But yeah, good question. There's a lot of it. Hickson, maybe some from the Fadder lineage, some of the top guys down there, to see if I was fortunate to have regular training with it's called Gabriel Kittober, and he's a black belt, but he was from the Fadder lineage, and there is a bit of a difference. The teaching the techniques, it's a bit difficult to explain, but once you know what you're doing, right, this is a little bit different. And the man, I've still got wrist pain. His wrist locks are fucking horrible. So maybe some of the red belts from there, but yeah, I'd definitely love to have a roll with Hickson. See what his invisible jiu-jitsu see if I can spot it.
Yeah. No, well, I'm the same. I mean, if I was to choose someone, I got the chance. I trained with Rodolfo Vieira a couple of years ago. It was a seminar, and we got the chance to roll with him. And he guillotined me in like a minute. Obviously, kicked my ass, which I was like, that was brilliant. I enjoyed that. But then for me, the ultimate would be Henzo Gracie.
Yeah.
Get a chance to do some training with him. I know the chance on getting a role with Henzo is probably not very high.
I was very fortunate. I ended up reporting for ADCC through the Grappling magazine. They said, "Oh, you can cover Europe," and I went to ADCC 2001.
Yeah,
all expenses paid, and I was a white belt, and I was in the magazine. So a lot of the Brazilians, like Henzo and all those guys, they all read the magazine. So I got to the hotel, and people come up to me, "Hey, you're Carl Fisher." I'm like, "Fucking hell, I'm a white belt here." And the Henzo was there, and he'd recognised me from some seminars. So I'd come up to our room, and there's Holes Gracie there, Nelson Montero, all these black belts, and everything. It was a 5-star hotel, all paid for by the sheikh. Any food you want. So we've got lobster, steaks, just unbelievable. I was there for 5 days. Yeah. I got in the lift, and Bruce Buffer's there, and he said, "Hey, Carl, I liked your magazine, man, and your article." I'm like, "What the
Nice.
I'm a white belt here. I should be the fanboy."
Yeah.
You know, and they were training at the thing, so I'm doing the reporting, and I interviewed Henzo, and I got to have a roll with him. And he had his rash guard, he'd been training, and he took it off. He said, "Hey, you can keep that." So I used it for a while, but it wasn't sublimated, so the printing was worn off, but I've still got that. Yeah. So and again, like you say, we was at Fight Factory a while ago, and we had Lovato Jr. down. He was fighting in England, I think, and Lewis said, "Right, go and have a roll with him." And he wasn't even using a percent. I could feel the strength of it. He's quite deceiving. I've interviewed him quite a few times. Friend Eddie Cohn, he had him down quite a lot, and I got to spend a day with him and chat with him. And it doesn't look that big, but when you see his hands are like that, and his feet they're like shovels. And honestly, it's just another level. These guys, isn't it? You know, if you get on with the top guys, and I always tell my students, you've got to go up to Mauricio Gomez and say, "Can I try you? Can I feel your knee on belly, please?" Because I've had that on seminars, and that's just absolutely horrible. And the worst thing was, as he got older, each year, each seminar we did, it got worse. You know, the pressure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? With the seminar, sometimes they're preparing for a fight, so they don't want somebody going out to try and hurt them to prove a point and things. So I get it why sometimes they don't. Yeah. Sometimes they don't roll, but if you can just get out and get a chance, just go for it and just feel the next level. Like you come off, I'm like, I look at my belt, I think, really? You know, I mean, it just goes, like you said, it just goes through you like a dose of salt. You know, it's not fair.
Yeah, definitely. And I was the same as you. I mean, I got to go out to California, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and do a bit of training over there. I went over and trained at, it was Gracie Barra headquarters over in Southern California, Irvine, Orange County, and at the time I was over there, Draculino was there. He was doing the training camp. You had Kieron Gracie. You had there was a number of black belts. Almeida was there, and it was unbelievable. I mean, just going over there, and the difference in even now. I mean, obviously you're going back to like '99, but even now you go over there, and the difference in the way they train, and the levels and things like that is just unbelievable. And this place in California where I went, there was jiu-jitsu gyms all over the place in this one area. And yeah, I mean, the level was unbelievable. I mean, I was fortunate. I got to roll regularly with The part, because what they did was they separated us into three different parts of the gym. So you had like the over 200 pounds, where in one section you had up to from 170 up to 200, and then under 170. So, and you were paired up, and the bit I was paired in, I think I had about 4 black belts, obviously a number of browns, purples, and there was no white belts. It was just all blue, all coloured belts. And yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, they were calling me, like, I'm only 5'4", super heavyweight. So I was getting called, they were calling me the Bull. They were calling me like what else? The Highlander. So I was getting called all these names, and it was just brilliant. And I remember they were saying, they kept calling me Toro, so the Bull. And they were saying that whenever a Brazilian gives you, they call you by an animal name, it's a sign of respect. And I'm like, right, okay. So I ended up getting it on my hand. So I ended up getting the tattoo Toro on my hand. And then 2014 when I started jiu-jitsu, and I just thought it was great. I mean, the level, I mean, going out there and the weather was fantastic. I mean, I'd never seen weather like this in my life.
No, you won't not stop in Glasgow.
So I'd never seen.
Yeah, I know they call it the jiu-jitsu lifestyle and stuff like that. It's a bit wanky, but
yeah.
I stayed at Surf City Hostel in Plymouth Beach, very popular for the BJJ guys, and you'd finish your training, cycle, you'd go on your bike, cycle back, get a boogie board out, and the beach was 50 meters from the gym, from the hostel, and then you'd still be sweating you'd have your shorts on, get a boogie board, and in the Pacific, boom, it's like, fucking hell, what is the not to love of that? And then, oh, right, I'll have my tea, and then, I'm back doing jiu-jitsu again. You know, it's fantastic life. Yeah. You know, it's not, I know I'm not saying it, you can do that all the time, but, you know, I had a good couple of months just doing that, and you'd go to Venice Beach at the weekend and chill out there, and, you know, and go to other gyms and make, you know, like still they love the Americans. The Americans love the British, you know.
Yeah.
And I always say it to Lewis, my coach at Fight Factory. Every time you'd go, or you'd be sat in the hostel, you're watching, hey man, you from England? I went, yeah. I said, hey, do you live near the Queen? And I say that to Louis, he pisses his sides out. So I shout it coming into the gym. And I went, well, not really. It's like 200 miles. I thought, man, I'll drive that to work. You know, but until you get to America, we went to, we had a weekend out, went to Vegas. Yeah. So we went through Arizona, and we got out of the car, and it's like the size of the place, you know, you can't grasp how big it is.
Yeah.
You know, and like, also people in Texas, they don't leave Texas, do they? You know, it's so big. You know, they don't think anything else exists out of America, which they always say.
Yeah.
And then we went to the Grand Canyon, and that was just mind-blowing place to see, you know. And but yeah, that's at the first. I'd be in a bar, and hey man, you're England, 5, 4, 3. Do you live near the Queen? And you like Benny Hill as well, you know. That's you get in the telly, the TV in the evening, whatever the channel was, HBO or whatever. It was just reruns of Benny Hill and Monty Python as well. Monty Python and Benny Hill, and do you live near the Queen? It's like, that's the general idea of how we live.
Yeah. No, mine was when I was there. Do you guys drink whiskey all the time? And do you wear kilts? Do you wear a kilt all the time? Yeah, every day.
Oh, they're brilliant. They're brilliant.
Yeah. Nah, I did enjoy my time. I'd say definitely a place I'm going to go back to. They keep inviting me over. I mean, a few of the guys, I'd say, still friendly with a lot of the guys, and they always invite me over. Draculino, every time it's like my birthday and stuff like that, he'll drop me a message saying happy birthday, and so yeah, listen, really nice people, friends.
That's what I have forever. I try and tell my students to say, you're at the London Open at Crystal Palace. and Roger's there and Braulio and stuff, and they know me because I used to train with Gracie Barra and stuff, and Victor, and they just sat there, and everybody's coming up, "Hey, Roger, how you doing?" And you know, and I just said, these guys, you can't get more elite than these. Yeah. You know, would you? You won't get within a foot of David Beckham or whoever, Premiership football stars, or you know, other world class tennis champions, basketball people, and yet they're just there with t-shirt and jeans and how are you doing and stuff. That's what I like. I've never, in all the black belts I've never met anybody that have been up their own arse, or they're just not approachable, or they've got this VIP diva. That's it. They're not divas or anything like that, and they're all approachable. You know, and that's what I tell my students: just get to a seminar and just get out there. You know, meet these guys. You know, just learn a lot from them. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I always tell people that whenever you go to competitions or, as you say, seminars or stuff like that, talk to people, talk to everybody. I mean, because as I said, even white belts, whatever belt, regardless of the belt, talk to the people and get to know people. And then, as I said, they'll invite you to your gym, you'll invite them to and so on and so on. And then your kind of jiu-jitsu, your kind of family, so to say, or your friendship or whatever, it'll continue growing. So
it expands. Everybody's doing the same. As I see, if I'm at a competition and there's white belts there and looking nervous, I know they've got a coach. I'll just go up and say, "Hey, well, just deep breathe, just relax. You know, you've got this. They might be fighting my guy, something like that, or whatever." And then they come over like, "Oh, thanks, I really. Oh, what's your name?" Next thing, you know, you're tagged. This and the other, and then, like you say, you get invited to their gym. There's an open mat, or there's a seminar. Do you want to come? You know, and then you'll meet other people there, and it multiplies from that.
Definitely.
You know? So I'll tell my students to just get around, just be friendly, just be nice to people, and you know, you'll get good things come back to you tenfold. I think.
Yeah, definitely. And then you obviously mentioned about your competing. Obviously, you've competed over the years. What is your mindset when you go into competition? Because I know a lot of people, as you know, they get really nervous. Some people get excited. Some people go there because they just want to have fun. What would you say?
I've been a doorman 25 years. Competing just reduces me to rubble. You know, I've been in some really bad situations at work, and you know, and dealt with it. But it's that drip of competition. Like you have an 8-week training course, and you know you've got this deadline, and it just sets the adrenaline going in me. That's just how it is, you know. So I compete. I learn to overcome it, and it's just probably just the way how I'm wired up, you know. But I get there and I've got my I try and keep busy with my students, and inside it's all the dry mouth and all that stuff, and it's just a reaction, you know, physical reaction. I just go in, I just think, right, well, I've trained up, I'm going to try this approach, see what happens, you know. Get stuck in, try not get badly injured, you know, so I can drive back. You know, that always used to be me that used to drive. You know, so go to Hereford or London, Birmingham, compete, and shit, don't fucking get injured. I've got to work, you know. But it's just learning to control the nerves. And once you shake hands and you're in, it's finished, you know. And then you've got to know whether you win or lose. You know, you've got, like I say, you've got a friend for life, you know? Yeah.
Now, you're right. I mean, it's the same with training. I mean, the hardest part of training is getting to the gym in a lot of cases for some people.
Yeah.
So obviously the competition, as you mentioned there, I mean, obviously the nerves will be there, they'll come, but then once you are on the mat, slap, bump and roll, that's it. The nerves go. I mean, your 5, 6, 7 minutes or whatever amount of time there is.
You know, that's it, yeah. It's just building up. I tell my students, I say, I don't care if you lose in 5 seconds. You know, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. It's 50-50 every time.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to criticise people and stuff like that, but it takes a lot to go on and be having people watching you, and then you lose, or you bring your girlfriend for the first time and you don't want to lose in front of your missus and you get tapped out, you know, you feel a bit embarrassed and everything. But don't, you know.
Yeah.
Just go out, get out there. One day you'll win, some you'll lose, you know.
Yeah. That's jiu-jitsu. I mean, nobody goes through jiu-jitsu undefeated. I mean, I don't know anybody that's went undefeated in jiu-jitsu. As I said, everybody loses at some point. It's part of the it's part of the journey. I mean, as you've got to lose. I remember a friend of mine, a training partner of mine. I mean, I'd won the first, I think it was like 6 or 7 competitions where I'd won gold in every one of them. And I remember him saying to me, Stuart, you've got to lose, because if you don't lose, you don't know how you're going to get better. And I thought, this is madness. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, if I'm winning, what does losing make a difference today? And obviously, that first time I lost, I picked up more from that loss than I did from any of the wins that I'd ever had.
You win and win and win. You get complacent. Oh, I'll not train for this one. I'll not do this. You know, it happens with humans. But yeah, you get your ass handed to you. You're like, whoa, fucking hell. Right, well, boom. You've got instant feedback. And I say that for my students, because sometimes I can't see what my students are doing all the time. So I think, get in a competition, then I can see what you need to work on. So you're getting my analysis. So you're getting, the coach will be watching, or they'll get videos. I've got 4 or 5 guys fighting. Obviously, I can't be everywhere, but I'll make sure they're filmed. Then I get them sent. I'll watch. I say, right, well, you did this wrong, you did that. And I come in to class there on the Monday, and I've got a sheet of paper. I say, right, this is what happened. This is what went wrong. Now let's work on this. And for everybody. So it helps people that don't train. You know, I've got students that they don't want to train. You know, some of them are a bit old fogies. You know, they're a bit bashed and stuff. They just enjoy the jiu-jitsu. So I think, right, it's fine. And I've got guys that compete at everything, every comp that's going. You know, so if they're doing that, well, we've got to get them in shape so everybody mucks in. You know, so you do a training camp and everybody improves. You know, if you get a medal at the end of it, great. You know, if not, it's a day out and a few sherbets after the comp. You know, and we've got some new friends. You know, so
definitely. And then
it's all positive, isn't it?
Got one of your students again, Jim. Oh. Jim actually jumped in.
Jim McSherry.
Just saying he's late.
No, you're all right. No one to apologise.
But he's been in for about half an hour now. So and then Farhaz, coach tips or advice on getting back to competing after a long layoff. So that's a tough one. I mean, because obviously you're going to, I mean, especially if we've been off for a year, how much training have you done in a year? How much jiu-jitsu training have you been able to do in a year? So, I mean, you're going to need a good, I don't know, for me anyway, I'm going to need a good couple of months before I even think about competing to see where I am. So
yeah, of course, everybody will be a bit sluggish, not as sharp. Yeah, you can go running and do your things, but we do jiu-jitsu, isn't it? So you're not going to be jiu-jitsu fit for a while. Some of your injuries will ease up and then probably come back within your first week of training. But I'd say my advice, the first thing, you've just got to get to the fucking gym, like you said. Get to the gym. Coach will look after you. I said it when we all came back. We were doing the boxing and stuff. And everybody's like blowing out of their ass. And I just say, look, you've got to, they call it acceptance. You've got to accept you've had some time off. You're not as good as you were. Your performance has dipped. 10-20%, something like that. But just get back in, and in time, you know, if you've been training 5 or 6 years, you're gonna pick it back up. You know, you won't have lost your skills. You know, it's just the timing, isn't it? Your nervous system needs to react, and your brain, and get rolling, and get active, get your mind going and stuff. You know, everybody's been off, and it'll be sluggish. Your reactions will be all over the show. But just don't beat yourself up. Everybody's in the same boat. And that's to whoever's listening. Don't beat yourself up. You know, get your gi on. Just get on the mats. Take it easy. You know, build up. Within months, you'll be back, and then you get back into the competitions. Some of my students want to do the competitions later on in the year. So I think, right, fine. If that's your motivation, brilliant, do that. If not, just get in, and everybody will help each other. You know, nobody's there to impede you or anything. Everybody, all these students, whenever you roll with your students, you should be helping each other to get better.
Yeah.
Not be the one that taps everybody out and this and the other. You know, they don't last long. You know, the blue belt should be helping the white belts, and etc. The purples are, you know, have competitive roles by all means. Yeah, but when you're all training, you're a team, aren't you? So everybody should be helping everybody get better. If everybody's a white belt, everybody knows the first time they're on the mat and they get smashed and stuff. So you've overcome that. So you can see the new people that are nervous when they come on the mat, and they just say, "Hi, all right, go partner with me, and I'll show you this," and it just gets the mind off, you know. And you can keep the students training longer. But it's a good question, that, my man.
As it's definitely a long way off. I mean, I'd say, what was it? It was March last year, end of March last year. I mean, we came off, so that's been we're coming up on nearly a year, just over a year. And I think in that time we've only had, in the UK especially, we've only had a couple of I think we had a Grapple Fest earlier on, and we had a Polaris. So we've only really had a few kind of competitions in the UK, but they've obviously been invitational competitions.
Yes,
so
that's right,
So there's not been a competition, I don't think, since about February. Probably February, maybe beginning of March.
People, you'll lose people to the sport. It's obvious, but you know, those who've got the real passion and fired up, they'll come back. And I've got new students on the waiting list. You know, when will you open, and let me know. So you know, every time I get an email like that, I think, oh, thank God for that. You know, at least there's some new blood coming through, and you just it's part of the journey. It's the ups and downs, isn't it? You know.
Do you think it's going to be, because obviously when we go back, because again, I've spoken to a few kind of gym owners where they've got waiting lists of people coming on, which is fantastic. So do you think when we do go back, then we're going to see a massive influx of new people coming into the sport?
That's what people say. You would like it to be, wouldn't you? You know, with all sport, you'd think, oh right, I don't want to have an underlying condition that will affect me if I get COVID. So therefore, I'll go to the gym, maybe like push weights or get into jiu-jitsu. You know, get into exercise. I'd like to see that, but you know, let's say down here in London, the fast food shops are everywhere, and they just see the kids after school with a tray full of doner meats and stuff like that. You know, it's not good. It's not good for the country with the obesity. You know, never mind all this with the COVID. You know, they should be doing more, the government, to get the gyms open. And our gym was open. That like our leisure gym. That was open. It's the cleanest I've ever seen it. You know, there's only a few people in. The windows were open, and you know, it was fine. It was fine. You know. Yeah. But I'd like to think I did get a lot of inquiries when the first lockdown went, and I had about another 10 students from that, which was, to retain that many, it was very, very surprising. But I've got students who say, like, I can't pay now, but I'll be back when you're open. So you've just got to sit and wait, and you know, keep moving. And if everybody's vaccinated, then it's just like having the flu jab. You know. You know, it's up to you. If you want to get on the mats, get on the mats. You know.
Definitely. And then obviously anybody new that's coming in, I mean, Wimbledon Jiu-Jitsu, I mean, you're on Facebook. You are on Facebook quite a bit, obviously through your own page as well as the Wimbledon Jiu-Jitsu page. I mean, how do people contact you on Facebook then, Carol?
No, they can just add me I'm under Carl Fisher. That's the first bit, and then I have a page. Page Wimbledon Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think you can get me on that, and I have a group. I'm on Instagram, and that's Wimbledon BJJ, and just on email. I've got a website, wimbledonbjj.com.
Yeah.
If you're in and around the area, hit me up. Like I said, once this all gets back to normal, I normally do a Saturday monthly class, and it's like an open mat. I've got the Eskrima, the bodysuits. I've got the padded jacket and the big helmets and the sticks. I've got three suits, so you can put that on, do a bit of Dog Brother style fighting. I do the self-protection classes, so I've got a proper Spartan suit with a big helmet and stuff, so you can get a bit of realism training and stuff. So I'll be opening that. That's open to you, your students, to everybody, to all my mates. You know who I am. You know who you are. Sorry. I'll be doing those as soon as we can. Probably after June, I would say, when it's if everything goes well, all the restrictions are eased. Stuff can come down. We can train in the afternoon. There's a Weatherspoons 5 minutes in the gym. So
that's important, Carol. That's important.
That's the USP. That's the USP for my gym, mate. Because a lot of Northerners, fucking hell, what's that, £6-7 a pint? I said, yeah, fuck that. And they get in the spoons like £2.10 for a pint of bitter. So like, you can't.
And a breakfast as well, Carol. A breakfast as well.
Yeah, you can't argue. It's a massive. I've put the doors there. It's a massive place. So I enjoy going there because my students get a few drinks down me, and then a few Ribald door stories come out and all the crap and everything. I enjoy that. I like the training, but I enjoy seeing my students, guests that come down, my friends that have been around. I want my students to like rub shoulders with those guys and stuff. So So I'm excited. Things will get back to some normality later the year.
Definitely. And then obviously Jim as well mentioning what's your future plans or goals? So obviously you've had a number of years in the game so far. I'd say you've been able to travel the world and meet a lot of people, a lot of high level guys throughout jiu-jitsu. So I mean, what do you see for yourself going forward then, Carol?
Apart from world domination, let me see. I just want to build a successful gym.
Yeah.
I had my time up north. It didn't work. Just through one thing or another, and it came down to, I thought, London's a place. I want to get my first black belt. I've been in this game 20 odd years. I was doing all right up in Bolton. I got some purple belts and things, and just circumstances, have led me. I'm down here now, so I'll build up the gym, get some purple belts. That's the next thing. Work on that. Just keep my own training going. I'm turned 50 last September, so it's just keeping myself ticking over. Maybe get a couple of competitions in. Say we set up the precision self-protection team with my mate Gary Hilton. I've been trying to get those classes going since last year. Obviously the bloody lockdown and stuff. But the community centre that I'm be doing it, they said you've got the session there. So I want to get that going. Build that up. Because we did some seminars last year, me and Gary together, and then we got one set up for May, and obviously all this shit kicked in. So we were going to take the world by storm with the self-protection, So once things get going, I want to get that going. I want to get more seminars going, and just keep on learning. Pass my skills on, and say get the Saturday open mats back up and running, so everybody's welcome to those, like I said earlier. So nice question, Jim. Thanks.
Definitely. And it's one thing. I mean, I used to love traveling all over the UK, going to different gyms, and I'd say because I obviously again through competitions and through meeting loads of people, as I said, I'm able to go a lot of places throughout the UK and just say, look, how you doing? Is Stuart any chance to come and train. So it's something obviously I want to get back to. I say I've not been able to do it for a while, but yeah, definitely looking to hopefully once all this stuff's over. I mean, definitely get down to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Glasgow to Euston. It's not that long. 4 hours, I think, something like that.
Yeah,
like direct on the northern line.
Yeah,
Straight down to Euston. I can meet you there. Quick tube to Wimbledon. Train. Been on the train, say 1:30. Couple of hours. Get a few drinks down you, and then boot you back up. You're back up to Glasgow. You're back home for 10 o'clock last orders or whatever. You know, it's like yourself. You got the passion. It's the travelling. You know, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You know, get in the train, and I've been to competitions. I've slept in garages. Seriously, garages on the mats in a gym, like loads of people did. You know, you go travelling abroad. You'd stay in a hotel, and flea pits, or you'd walk around the wrong road. You're in the red light district, and there's fucking guns going off and all that bollocks. You're like, fucking hell. What am I doing here? Like, you know, in some like flea pit of a place, but you know, it's all life, you know. And you're not here for long, so just make the most of it. Don't put competing off, you know.
Yeah.
You get more out of it. It's just between 5 and 10 minutes rolling about, but then you've got a lifetime of memories. You know, you go on the piss afterwards and all that type of stuff. You know, and you've got friends, and then they invite you to places. You know, if you compete abroad, we've got such a bodies doing a seminar. Come over, you can stay with me. You know, so that's saving a hotel. That's it. You know, so it makes it worth your while. You know, you've got EasyJet. You know, boom, jump on EasyJet, bang, you're in Europe. And well, I don't know what will be happening now. We've left EU. If they'll let us into Europe, I don't know.
Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned, I mean, you're talking about walking into different, especially if you're in a place you don't know. I remember being in Vegas, and I went to train I stayed at the Palace Station Hotel, which is just off the strip. And I remember going to train at Robert Drysdale's gym, which was, I think, a couple of miles away. And I remember it was just a straight road from the Palace Station up to his gym. So I thought it's a couple of miles, 40 degrees, 45 degrees. I'll walk. So I remember walking and getting to the gym, and I'm saying, "Oh, where are you staying?" At Palace Station. They're like, "How did you get here?" And I said, "I just walked." And they're like, "What?" They're like, "We're from Vegas. We would never have walked that because it's so dangerous." And I'm like, "What?" So, but no, here's me, fucking crazy Scottish guy in Las Vegas.
Flip flops, fucking red beetroot face. Look, got "shoot me" written all over you, haven't you?
So, but no, I had no idea. No idea. Never had a problem. Never had a problem at all. So, but yeah, it just goes to show. I mean, you can be in a place you don't know. Portugal's the same. I mean, Lisbon. I mean, we walk about in Lisbon. In Lisbon, we've walked about in some really, really dangerous areas of Lisbon. But then as soon as they know you're like Scottish or jiu-jitsu or whatever, they're like, hey, and they're waving to you and things like that. So, as I said, I've been fortunate. So far, I've not had any issues when I've been traveling doing jiu-jitsu. So long may that continue. So
indeed,
long may that continue.
Yeah, definitely.
And then last thing for you, then. I mean, anybody you want to thank? Carol, as I said, it's been 30 years, so as I said, it'll be the list will be long. But anybody you want to kind of pinpoint, just as a big thank you for?
Just that everybody that's been on my journey, my instructors up in the north, everybody down here in London has helped me, my family, my long-suffering partner. they're the ones that have to put up with your fucking moaning, fucking this and that, and the gym's not going right, and you know all the ups and downs, and everybody that kicked my ass in competitions, you know, extended friendships to me when I've been sailing America, all over the world. You know, all the people that put you up, and you know, they give you a free meal and stuff like that. And it's you know, you don't know them and they don't know you. Sometimes, and just because you train jiu-jitsu, you know, that's it. It's like, yeah, come to my house. You can stay here as long as you want, and you can free. You know, you don't know if this person's a psychopath or anything, do you? You know, you won't do it in any other way.
No, no.
Walking past somebody, say, "Hey, are you over there? Come and stay with me for a few days."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the fact that you've got this bond of jiu-jitsu. You know, I've seen like the world much better. Like I say, they say, "Oh, don't go down there. You'll get ripped off." Like I said, "Oh, you'll get mugged. This place is rough." Or we know the best club in town, or the best pizza shop, or the best burger place. You know. And then when people come and visit me in London, I've got some friends I've made on a Facebook group. The majority American, and he's called, I think it's Trayvon. He was out there, and we got friends, and they want to come to London and say, "Oh, we'll come and train." So I thought, right, well, yeah, come and stay, get a hotel, come and meet me, and you'll not get ripped off with an I Heart London T-shirt for like 30 quid. You know, that you just see the tourists. "Oh yeah, fucking, I'll get these," you know, but they don't know any different, you know.
Yeah.
So it's all that. Yeah, it just. Every student that's come through my door, you know, they've helped keep the gym going. They've helped me teach. They make me look into my jiu-jitsu and think, "Oh, right, this guy's stuck on this or stuck on that." So they keep me going. My students here at Wimbledon, say, we've got Gorgeous George, the Doc, the Samurai, Kiwi Bone Crusher, the Undefeated, the Muscinator, the Jazzinator, everybody else, all my students I have 3 ex-students, and they all train at Absolute MMA in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. I got a picture one day. So it was Graham McKenna, Juliet Brille. She just got a purple belt yesterday. So us on that, and my main man Kells, they all train there. That's very bizarre. I just got this photograph of all 3 of them at the Absolute gym, and they're all, "Hey," and they've got the Northern Monkey rash guards and stuff. So, you know, everybody that's bought a T-shirt or a rash guard, and you know, just helped me on my journey and stuff. You know,
Definitely.
I think that's everybody covered.
Definitely. And as Carol said, Wimbledon Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on Facebook. So obviously you can.
Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel as well. I'm trying to build that up. That's Wimbledon Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes.
Added some videos. I'm getting some more videos. I've had a load on my laptop for ages, and one of my students, George, he's been doing a sterling job of editing them up and putting them up. So I've got about 16 videos, but I've got lots more to come on. So if you want to subscribe, ring the bell, or whatever they call it, like, share, leave a comment, whatever everybody says at the beginning.
Yeah,
you know, much appreciated. And again, I've said it 3 times now. Once we get back, open mats will be going. Anybody in BJJ, MMA, South Protection, whoever's listening, will be getting the sessions back on. You know, we've had over a year out, you know, and let's just get back on, get back training, and make some new friends and stuff. So looking forward to that.
Definitely. And the YouTube page, Wimbledon Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So obviously some videos there, some pretty cool videos as well. I mean, that's the one I've been watching is the Pendulum and the Ezekiel choke.
From the gift wrap. Yeah.
Yes. So I've been.
Yeah, just a little. I like the pendulum where you go over and grab the shoulder, the armpit, but it's just something that came in training one day. I thought, I just like that. It gets you over, then you're in a nice mount position. You can switch, and then boom, get the submission in. So I'm glad you like it, mate. Glad you like it. So
definitely. So anybody that's on, I'll post a link on the Jiu-Jitsu, the MMA UK Jiu-Jitsu page. So obviously anybody who wants to have a look at the videos, definitely subscribe. As I said, you posted a video a couple of days ago as well. So I've watched that.
The harpoon sweep. Pop that one up. Some slow motion ones, they go down well.
Yeah.
A lot of times you're teaching in real time, you can't really see the nuances of a lot of techniques. So I've done some slow motion ones. I did one on the scissor sweep, and it just shows you a bit where you move away before you sweep, which you don't normally see when you're teaching. So it just those little things like that that are invaluable. If you're bored and at work and or watching your videos when you should be working or something like that. So,
well, listen, we're still in a lockdown, so I'd say there's we've a lot of people got nothing to do. So definitely get on YouTube. I mean, I'd say I don't know how many videos I've been watching on YouTube over the last year, but yeah, I mean, definitely we'll get your link up. Have a look at the videos. Videos are fantastic. So
it's been a pleasure. There's not scratched the surface really, but like I say, I don't know if time goes on, but you know, just enjoyed it. Hope people found it a little bit interesting, you know, bit of background from the old school and stuff. So yeah, thanks for having me, Mum.
Not a problem. But listen, we'll definitely get down. I mean, one of the things I want to do when the gyms do open is do like features on gyms. So turn up, do like a video of the gym. Obviously, again, it's dependent on coaches because I know some coaches are still a bit funny about cameras in the gyms and stuff like that. But even getting maybe if you allow it, maybe getting a video of the gym and interviewing a couple of students and stuff like that. So
the gym owner's not, but he's all right. No, you can come in, you can film, and no problem. Not a problem.
Definitely. Well, listen, Carol, it's been an absolute honour, sir.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Absolutely loved the chat, and yeah, definitely looking forward to hopefully coming down and seeing you guys soon.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Okay.
Fantastic, Carol. Thank you very much, sir. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay.
And you. Cheers, my mum.
Take care, buddy.